Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch, a two-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock.
World Baseball Classic Edition.
How, everybody?
Pitch Clock is here, and to represent the fact that it's the World Baseball Classic, not only do we have a reporter joining us later who will be boots on the ground at games. Ethan, what is our game today?
All right, boys, so we're going back to an old classic. So in the folders in front of you, you can open them. There is a baseball diamond. One of them has a Dominican Republic flag. The other has United States of America flag.
If this is current, I am screwed.
So these are the rosters for the starting. These are the starting lineups for the winning teams in 2017. That would be the United States. In 2013, that would be the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
It's going to be really simple. We're just going to do 3 strikes and you're out.
Okay.
So, Jeremy won Jeopardy, so he will kick us off.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what the proper strategy is on this. I'm just going to go ahead and get one on the board. Center fielder on Team USA in 2017 for the Baltimore Orioles. I mentioned his outstanding play as one of the great moments in American sports history. That would be one Adam Jones.
That is correct, Jeremy. Cody, over to you.
We'll go Stanton, DH for Team USA.
Correct. Yes.
I'm going to go with the third baseman for Team USA, Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
That was Nolan Arenado.
Correct. That was Nolan Arenado.
Is
That was
playing
now. Correct. Yes.
Yeah, he's now playing for Team Puerto Rico.
Why?
This
Just because
season.
he couldn't make it for USA, so he switched?
Nah, essentially. All right, Chris. Who you got
Cody,
next?
I'm just going to take Yelich off.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
Yelich
correct.
was playing left field for that team. I'm going to go ahead and name, I believe their right fielder for the Texas Rangers. This is for the 2013 Dominican team. That would have been Nelson Cruz.
Correct. Yes.
All right. I'm going to keep it in America. Actually, no. I'll do my one. I'll do Robinson Cano.
Yeah,
second base.
yeah, that would be
Robbie
your one.
Cano, don't you know?
Man, this is where the strategy comes into play, right? Because
We're doing
I
strikes
knew,
here?
3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah, I knew that was the one that you knew.
Then that's terrible strategy by you.
I'm just gonna keep trying to just get correct answers here.
Yep.
So first baseman for Team USA, Kansas City Royals, that's Eric Hosmer.
Correct. Yes.
This is embarrassing that I
just
don't
realized,
know more of
I just
these
figured out who
DR
that Texas,
guys.
I think I know who that Texas catcher is, and it's wild that that's who it is.
Yeah, I think. I have one in my head.
Now
but
I feel like I should say it because I don't want you to get it. I'm going to go right
do
field
I know?
America, Andrew McCutchen.
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah,
Cutcher's
Andrew
out.
McCutchen.
Right.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna say the third baseman for Team DR as a Dodger was Adrian Beltre.
That is incorrect.
That's incorrect.
That is the first strike of the
Man,
game.
I had a feeling I was gonna be wrong. I couldn't think. He definitely wasn't still with the Dodgers. That was so early in his career.
I'll go DH for the DR, Pujols.
That is incorrect. Not Albert Pujols.
It is our World Baseball Classic edition of the Pitch Clock, as we mentioned earlier. And we have Danny Alvarez of El Extra Base with me here. Danny, welcome back to the Pitch Clock, first and foremost. But second of all, I want to dive right into this with you when it comes to the World Baseball Classic, because I think some folks who are not accustomed to Major League Baseball might not quite understand just how important this tournament is to the players in Major League Baseball and some of the fireworks that we've seen over the years. So I'm coming to you for a bit of like a history lesson here. Can you give me a little bit of the background of the WBC and what the stakes are headed into this year's tournament?
Yeah, I know it's amazing, Jeremy, because it's a tournament that started because baseball was not in the Olympics, and obviously they tried to find a tournament that was going to be globally popular and have the best players in the world of the best nations possible playing in it. And I think they found a way to do it. It started in 2006. It's crazy to think that it's been 20 years since.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And for example, I remember the first game being the Dominican Republic against Venezuela at the Disney World complex in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
That it was a minor league stadium by the time, because the Braves were playing there for spring training. And now to see that we're gonna have Lone Depot Park with 37,000 plus people in it. It's something, crazy to see how much it's grown over the years. Now it's not only the Hispanic countries or Japan or Korea. Now it's baseball in America, or with the national team being something huge.
Yeah, everyone's taking it very seriously in terms of the roster. And while there are some individual players that are treating it differently headed into their season, we know Tarek Skubal just going to make one start, throwing 55 pitches, been a bit of a controversy. These guys are taking it very, very seriously, and especially after the upset, or, if you want to call it an upset, but last year when you have that epic showdown at the end of a series with Ohtani and Trout going head to head, that's what baseball is all about. And it's really exciting headed into this year. And so I want to talk to you about some of the favorites and then maybe some underdogs. So let's talk favorites first. Can you give me maybe 3 teams here to watch at sort of the top of the standings in those power rankings for you, and maybe a player worth highlighting to sort of watch looking into this tournament?
Yeah, I think this is the easy part, giving the favorites, because obviously the U.S., they have an outstanding team. I really want to see what Paul Skeens can accomplish at this level, because we know he's in the Pirates. He's probably the best pitcher in baseball, and how much he loves this country, and he almost served in the military. He said that he hasn't done that yet, but this is a really close second, which is, speaks highly about how he feels about the tournament and wearing USA across his chest. I really want to see what he can do. But also the Dominican Republic, man. I was at Lone Depot Park this week watching their first official workout, and I was like, oh my God. First of all, you see Albert Pujols coming out of the dugout, and he was like, you need to be playing, sir. And
right.
That start loaded roster with Fernando Tatis, that it's going to represent the Dominican Republic for the first time. He missed it in 2023. Obviously, he had the PED suspension, but now I know he took it personal, and how much it means to him. Also, his dad being on the coaching staff, and it's going to be very special for both of them and for the entire country. And then Japan, the current champions. I mean, you always have to respect the champs. Now they have more big leaguers than ever on their roster. And obviously, it's easy. Shohei Ohtani saying we want to see Shohei in the tournament. But, man, after what he did in the World Series and the postseason in general, I want to see again Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitching big game in March. That feels like October or November 1st, which was the date of Game 7 of the World Series.
The shortstop for the 2017 American team was Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, I have
That
written
is
down.
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go American catcher Saltalamacchia.
No, not Saltalamacchia.
That was a bad guess.
It's not a terrible
There was a
guess
time where
because
he was
a
thought of as,
Ranger.
like, a good
no,
American
he was a
catcher.
good American catcher.
So is that 2 strikes for Chris
That is
Cody?
2 strikes for Chris
In a
Cody,
row.
1 strike for Jeremy.
I'm just going to give you my full thought process. There's 2 different guys I'm thinking are possible at the second base position for Team USA.
Oh,
One of them,
Oh.
I feel like did not play long enough for this to be correct. And the other, I'm identifying
Yeah, just fake
with
it.
potentially.
I think just him talking. I have it now.
I know who.
The other
I know who
one,
exactly
I'm
the 2
worried
players he's
I'm
thinking of.
I'm identifying with
I only have one, so I'm hoping he says the
A
other.
different team.
No, I know exactly
So
what's going
I'm
on
gonna-
in both of your heads right
I'm
now.
gonna say the second guy. I'm gonna say that's Ian Kinsler.
That is correct.
Okay, it
That's
was
not
Ian
the guy I
Kinsler.
had. So
Oh,
thank
It's
God.
not.
You had the
No.
other guy.
You had Michael Young.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
This starting pitcher, it can't be him. Can
On-
you just give me one hint? Is
on-
it
on
is it
the
is-
DR?
Is it like a number 1? No, US. The US pitcher. Is it just like a random?
At this time, he was a very he's still in the league. I'll give you that. And at
Veteran.
this time, he was a very solid up and coming number 1.
Oh, that's not
Oh.
who I'm thinking of.
It was an up and coming number 1.
Let's keep talking that out.
I would do some thinking
I'm
about
struggling here.
in 2013. I would do some thinking about what was going on with the Toronto Blue Jays and our show at this time, 2013.
Our show. 2013. I just started with the show.
Exactly. What was going on in baseball around that time?
Right. Okay, I got you.
You now know with that
I
hint?
now know exactly what that means. Shut up. Don't
Why
say
are you
anything
allowed
else.
to know the hint?
Well, he already gave the hint.
Yeah, but you should
Just
tell
click
me.
for
trying to
me.
help
You should
you
make it
here,
fair. You should
Coach.
only just tell me the thing he's
I'm
talking
trying to
about.
help you
It's
here,
no
bud.
information other than just what he's talking about.
He's
Come on,
talking
help me out.
about.
I'm not going to win this game.
All
You're
right.
gonna win.
The Blue Jays there was a big trade made with the Blue Jays.
Oh. Aha!
There you go. All right.
So
Jose Reyes.
yes, is that true?
What if I come back and win now? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to be really mad if you do. You know what? I'm going to go. Is the designated hitter for the Angels there Vlad Sr.?
No,
It's not.
no, it is not.
God, big strike there for you.
So next guess wrong. The other team, the other guy can steal. You know,
Well, no.
can-
I mean, if
can
Chris
get
gets
right.
it wrong, I win because I went first. If Chris gets
Okay.
it wrong,
Yes.
I
Yes.
win.
Yes. Yes.
figure it
Yes.
out.
No,
Yes.
not we figure it out.
Yeah. No. That's the end
how
of the round.
game works.
That's the end of the round. Yep. So
Okay.
Cody, you gotta get this to stay alive here.
You mentioned sort of the big three, right? Everybody's looking at the U.S., DR, and Japan. But let's talk about three other teams. Who are some dark horses in this tournament, and who will be carrying those teams?
It's hard for me to call Venezuela a dark horse.
Yeah, right.
I'm Venezuelan, by the way, and obviously I might sound biased.
Putting your bias aside.
Exactly. But the thing is that Venezuela lost Pablo Lopez due to an injury. We wish
Yep.
all the best to Pablito. Jose Alvarado because of insurance, which is something that kind of confused people a lot. And Jose was very upset about it because it happened once the roster was announced and he was already on the roster like 10 days before the tournament starts. And he was really, really upset with the situation. But since they don't have those big names on in the rotation or the pitching staff in general, because Robert Suarez is not participating, Jesus Luzardo might get in after pool play. They don't have the sexy names on the pitching staff.
That's
But
right.
They really have young arms that I know are hungry, and I know that they can get some people out, and that's going to be so important for them. Mexico, we were so close to U.S. against Mexico finals last year.
Yes.
In the last, that it you know what, it gave us one of the most epic finishes in WBC with that Japan-Mexico game, but they were pretty damn close to making it to the finals. And I think that they've grown a lot since that tournament. They're Mexico. They're going to have a really, really, really good team. And this last one that I will give you, Team Italy. I think they can do something special in this WBC because I think they have the best roster they've carried for the tournament. And Francisco Cervelli being the manager, with the passion that he brings to the game, I think it's going to... Man, I just can't wait to see what Team Italy is going to do in this WBC.
All right, so let's roll through this. I'm going to lay out each bracket for you. There's 4 pools here, okay? And you're just going to go ahead and give me your prediction of the 2 teams that will get out of each of these pools, and then we'll talk about who makes it to the championship. So Pool A, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Panama, Canada, and Colombia. Who are the 2 teams that advance?
I would say Puerto Rico and Team Canada. Or Canada, as Bad Bunny said.
Pool B, United States, Mexico, Italy, Great Britain, and Brazil.
So the U.S., and it's going to be a really close here. I think Mexico, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Italy.
You've got 2 of those dark horses in the same
Exactly.
pool, so they're sort of competing for that second spot. That could be really fun to see. And just so we know, that side of the bracket, those 2 teams will square off against the 2 teams from Pool A. Over on the other side of the bracket, Pool C is Japan, Australia, Korea, Czechia, and Chinese Taipei. Who you got?
Japan and Korea, I think, are the 2 big favorites here.
And then finally in Pool D, it'll be Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, Netherlands, Israel, and Nicaragua. Who are your 2 who advance here?
I have the Dominican Republic and Venezuela.
All right. Who are the teams to emerge from each side to play each other in the championship, and who ultimately wins the World Baseball Classic?
So I have the DR winning there, and I have Venezuela winning there to advance.
Okay.
And then the semis, that's where things are really interesting
Reshuffled.
We shuffled, exactly. So we can have, let's say, that game Mexico against the second one. So
it could be Mexico against DR.
Mexico against, I think, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. playing against Canada in the quarterfinals.
That's right, in the
That's
quarterfinals.
Exactly. So then we can have semifinals between Mexico and Venezuela, and the U.S. against DR. and that's where I have the finals with the U.S. facing Venezuela. And this is where I think the U.S. pulls it.
You are so biased sending Venezuela all the way to the final, but you know what?
No.
You're also a baseball expert, and I'm going to trust your opinion here.
Yeah.
You know these teams and these players as well as anybody, and your expertise is valued here. This United States team is loaded in a way that I have never quite seen in the World Baseball Classic. I think particularly after last time around, they're frustrated at the way that it ended. But boy, would it be interesting to see if Japan can find a way to make a run here, because they are going to have one hell of a time trying to get through that bracket, going up against teams like Venezuela or the DR on the other side once they escape group play. This is going to be an electric World Baseball Classic. I know Danny will have you covered with his coverage on El Extra Base. And guys, we're going to have some coverage here with the pitch clock. So be sure to tune into the Le Batard social channels and to YouTube. But let's go ahead and get back to our trivia game. I'm a little frustrated with myself, if I'm being most honest, for not being able to name who the starting pitcher.
I got it. Angels DH, Bobby Abreu.
No.
That's strike 3 for
Venezuelan.
Cody.
Venezuelan.
He is Venezuelan.
Is it Kendrys Morales?
No.
All right, that's strike 3 for Jeremy. I'm up.
No. But all right. So that's a victory. Where's Hanley?
Wait.
Is Hanley here?
Hanley is at third base.
He's at third?
That's Hanley
God,
at third base.
Dodgers?
Yes. Yeah,
I
so you would have
forgot.
had that, so I'll give it to you, Jeremy.
Well,
All right, so let's go.
I already won.
Let's go around the horn here. So in left field was Moises Sierra of the Toronto Blue Jays. This is for the 2013 Dominican team. The center fielder was Alejandro De Aza. Was in center field.
That was not who I was thinking of.
Nelson Cruz in right field. Jose
Yeah.
Reyes and Robinson Cano, who we got up the middle.
Yep.
Hanley at third base.
If you say it clearly couldn't have been Carlos Delgado at first.
It was not
No,
Carlos
no,
Delgado.
no,
it was
no, five.
no.
It was Edwin Encarnacion.
Oh, that is obvious.
The catcher was Carlos Santana.
That's
Carlos
it.
Santana. Of
That's
course
so obvious.
it was Carlos Santana.
So obvious.
And
God.
Samuel Deduno was the starting pitcher.
no one knows who that is.
And Eric Ibar was the DH.
Tell me who the starting pitcher and catcher were for the 2017.
Yeah, so let me just go around the horn again, give everybody an answer. So Christian Yelich in left, Adam Jones in center, Andrew McCutcheon in right. You had Nolan Arenado, Brandon Crawford, Ian Kinsler, Eric Hosmer around the infield. The DH was Giancarlo Stanton. The catcher was Jonathan Lucroy. And the starting pitcher was Marcus Stroman, who pitched for Puerto Rico in the last World Baseball Classic.
Of course.
Both these teams, not as good as they are today.
These
No.
teams now just shows
Dude.
you, by the way, just how much
I mean,
better
DR
this
is good, but
tournament
the
is
outfield
getting.
in DR is
Yeah,
weak.
No,
Well,
this tournament is
infield's
getting
studly.
better and better and better by the year.
Yeah.
And if you look at both the U.S. and the DR rosters now, these teams are absolutely loaded. Guys, I'm very excited for the WBC.
I cannot win a game.
Good news for you, we're not counting the games in the offseason against the standings.
I mean-
So we'll pick up with our first episode.
So we're in spring
on opening
training right
week.
now?
It's spring training.
Nice.
That said, I'm dominating.
Well, I don't try in spring training.